The accessories which come included in the box with the Insta360 GO 2 deserve a whole lot more attention than they are actually getting, especially when compared to the original Go, which I also have right here. A lot more thought went into these accessories and they're really well reworked, so I'm excited to be sharing all the accessories with you today and do kind of a discussion of how versatile they are and what they can be used for. Before we get started with those though, I want to say a massive thank you to Insta360 for supporting small creators like myself and sending out a unit of the Insta360 GO 2 to me for the purpose of review and just overall use. That just means that they sent it to me though, and I will still be critical whenever I feel like some features are missing or something like that, just like I did with my coverage of the original Insta360 Go. So let's get started with the very first accessory, and that is the charging case for these two cameras. Starting off with the charging case for the original Go, which literally had two purposes: charging the camera and transferring the information from the camera to either your phone or your computer. That's it. Also, some negatives about it, just to quickly point it out and show you that I can be critical. Why was this loose? Oops, I lost it. Also, micro USB, while this device was released at the end of 2019, is just a no-go. So the original Go, that's the main complaints I had about the charging case, to be honest. Moving on to the Go 2, and we gained a lot of functionality in this case right here. As you can see, it is connected, it's one piece, so you can't lose half of it and make it less functional, but you still use it for charging, so you throw the Go in right there. As you can see, it starts charging. The connection to unload the information from the camera to your phone can work through Wi-Fi now, so you don't have to connect the camera or the case to your phone anymore in order to unload the files. If you want to unload the files to the laptop, that's when you use the cable that comes included in the box. Then let's quickly go to the back of the case, because this case also doubles as a tripod. As you can see, there's a couple of really small legs right here. We just open up the case and we can put it down like, whoa, like that. There you go. Now, you already saw it. It's a little bit flimsy. It works, but it's very limited. If you're inside, there's no wind, this works very well, but when you're outside, it's not a straight surface you're putting it on, or there's a little bit more wind, it will tip over very easily. Then going to the bottom of the case right here, you can see that we have a 1/4 inch screw mount right here. So what we can do is we can take a selfie stick. This is the invisible selfie stick from Insta360, although it's not invisible when using it with the Go 2. Just a thing to remember. And then you can just adjust your angle, of course, by using the case itself. So let's slide it out a bit. I think it's like 70 centimeters, a pretty nice length and very compact when it's actually retracted. And then we can just go and film ourselves like that. We can adjust the angle, and it's just nice to have that screw mount right there inside the case. You can see how you just have to carry with you this case and the camera, and you have a lot of options there already to take a bunch of really interesting shots. That's something I really appreciate about Insta360 and their design and stuff like that. They don't stick to the norm, they innovate, and I think that's really cool. Then the main feature of this case is, of course, the fact that it's also a controller for the camera. And that's not just when it's inside the case, because it connects to Bluetooth to the camera, and that way you can have full control over pretty much everything this camera can do. In particular, I want to focus on color profiles, because using the case is the only way you can control which color profile the camera will record in. Whereas with the other recording options, so you can use the camera by itself by taking it out and using the actual button on the camera to start and stop recordings, or what you can do is you can connect the camera to your phone, where you do get an actual visual preview of what the camera is seeing, and you also get some more manual controls over shutter speed, white balance and ISO, for instance, which you don't get with the case. But when you want color profiles, of which there are 3 options: vivid, standard, and log, you have to use the case. But that's really it for the case. Oh, one more thing. Both cases are not waterproof. So if you want to use the camera by yourself when swimming or in very wet scenarios, then you can't take the case with you, and we'll get back to that in just a split second as well. Now you might be wondering, why is this guy only now talking about the Insta360 GO 2? And it's true, I'm a little bit late, but I do think it puts me in this kind of unique perspective or unique scenario where I have seen a bunch of reviews that have been made about this camera over the last 2 months. And there were some things which, when I received the camera, I wish I would have known beforehand. So I hope to focus more on those specific things, kind of like I did with the original Insta360 GO. So if you want to check out those videos, I'll link them right up there. But yes, I will be focusing on very specific things, small details which I wish I had known when getting the Insta360 GO 2. Along with that, I am a runner and my main purpose for this camera is taking it out on runs. So if you are a runner or you are interested in those details about this camera, be sure to stick around by subscribing. And if you have any ideas or there's something you would like to know about the GO 2, then be sure to let me know in the comments down below, and I'm sure I can go and investigate for you. But let's move on to the next accessory. So as you can see right here, this is the magic pendant that comes included in the box with the Insta360 GO 2. And the idea is that you put this around your neck, underneath your shirt, and then you can simply click the Insta360 GO onto it. So I have the magic pendant of the original Insta360 GO right here in my pocket. And as you can see, I can just click it on. Oh well, that's upside down, but I can just click it on. And this is a really easy way to carry a camera directly on your chest. Imagine using a GoPro for this. You have to use like an entire vest. Everybody's gonna look at you when you walk through a city or something. Not with this thing on your chest. So it's very interesting and a really nice and innovative thing. So if you look at the difference, you can see the length is the exact same. The purpose is the exact same. The magnet on this is a little bit stronger on the new version, and as you can see, it's a little bit bigger, but for the rest, the actual functionality is exactly the same. So it's an amazing thing to have with these cameras, but it's nothing very new or nothing that changed a whole lot from the first generation, of course. The new pivot stand that comes with the Insta360 GO 2 is actually a combination of a couple of different accessories that came with the original GO. The original GO came with this thing, which is what they called the pivot stand. And as you can see, it kind of is. It's a stand and it pivots and you could turn it like that. And there was a sticky pad at the bottom, which you could then remove this little cover and stick it to any surface you would like. So yeah, it's a pivot stand. But at the same time, they also included this little thing right here, which is a little magnetic plate that you could stick the GO onto, and then you could stick this to any surface which I guess wasn't magnetic. So if you have like a wooden wardrobe or something like that, then you could stick this to there, and then you could still stick the GO to your wardrobe, even though it is not made of metal, of course. What Insta360 did is they kind of combined these two things together into this brand new pivot stand. So as you can see, we can open it up. We can use it, of course, as a stand by itself by just putting it down. But at the same time, what we can also do is we can use it as a protective case for our GO. As you can see, it just clicks in right there. And now I can just close it up like that. And my GO is protected in this really small package. And in case you don't want to take the case with you because you might be swimming or it might be raining or something, then this is a really good option to protect the lenses of the GO and carry it with you in a really small package. So that's one new feature of this thing right here. Second of all, you can also use it as a bit of a selfie stick. Of course, the GO has a really wide angle lens, so just using it as a selfie stick like this is going to give you pretty much all the view you want of yourself, at least. So that's really nice to have as well. Then you might be wondering, well, we had sticky pads on the original ones. Where is the sticky pad on this one? Because as you can see, it's not right here. I mean, it actually is. So slide this off and we have a sticky pad right at the bottom right here, which you can then use for all the same purposes as the other sticky pads. And it just keeps going. You can hang this. Like I often, when I go out for runs in the forest, when I want to put the camera on like a higher vantage point, I put it onto a branch. And you can do that with this as well. As you can see, you just put it over a branch, you clip it on there, and then the camera is hanging. I can then adjust the angle very quickly by just kind of rotating it. And the camera, because it's so lightweight, it will just stay there. When you want to go swimming, you take this little lanyard, I took it off in this case, and you can just put it through those holes right there. And you can use it as a selfie stick. It's just such an interesting small package. In case you don't want to carry the case with you, it's right here, and this is pretty much all you need. But there's one limitation. The original pivot stand right here, it had a 1/4 inch screw mount right there. The new case or the new Go doesn't come with this mount. You have to buy it extra. It's part of the mount adapter bundle, which is 22 euros. You can buy it directly from Insta360, and it also comes with like some GoPro mounts and stuff like that. It's a bit shitty that it's not included anymore in the box, because this mount I thought was really interesting because you could combine it directly with a bunch of camera accessories, of course, tripods, selfie sticks and stuff like that, even when using the Go in standalone mode. And that's not possible anymore. And then my favorite accessory, because I love using this one for running, is the hat clip, which they call the easy clip, but they really only show it when attached to a hat or to a headband. So I will call it the hat clip. The original Go, it was nice. I really enjoyed it. You just click it right in there, and then you use this, of course, to attach it to either the back of a hat or a headband, of course. So you could just slide it right on there. So as you can see, it's now attached to the back of my hat, and I can film just like that. It's limited in the way though, because it's only possible to attach it to the back of a hat, not to the front, for instance. So that's a limitation. It did come with this angle snap thingy, as you can see right here, which comes off very easily and is very easy to lose. And it just does like the smallest angle adjustment ever. Normally the camera would be looking up maybe a little bit, and in this case it would just slightly tilt it down, but you didn't have a whole lot of control over what the camera was actually seeing. And that's why I'm very happy to announce that with the accessory for the Insta360 GO 2, this issue is solved completely. Yes, it's black. It's a little bit bulkier, as you can see right here, but you can adjust it a full, I would say 180 degrees, more or less. It's very clicky as well. It's just a better implementation overall, because at this moment you can attach it, yes, to the back of the hat, but you can also attach it to the front of the hat by just kind of sliding it on there like that, and you can have it on top of your head. You can also hang it below right here, and you can just have all these versatile angles which the original easy clip didn't allow you to get. So I'm very happy that Insta360 made this one a lot more versatile. At the same time, it's also a lot tighter, so it's more difficult actually to get it attached to something, but once it's attached to it, it's not coming off. And of course, that's a big advantage. When I go out for my runs, I tend to leave the Go case actually at home, and I just use it in standalone mode by using the hat clip, which I generally attach to this headband right here. And that way I tend to get most of my shots. When I want to get a shot of me running by or something like that, that's when the pivot mount comes in handy, of course. I can just set it up somewhere, I can hang it at a branch, as I already said, and I can get the shots that I want. To me, this is still the best way to keep it, because nothing is touching the lens and stuff like that. But as I said, this pivot mount might also come in handy in case you don't want to wear a hat or a headband or something to record things. Just put the Go in here, twist it around and protect the camera just like that. You can slide this inside a pocket. If you don't have pockets even, you can slide it onto the side like of your pants. I will do it with my shirt right here, but you can just kind of clip it on there just like that. So you can attach it like that. Sure, some fabric might be rubbing on the lens when you do this, but you won't hurt the camera that much when doing this. And that's how I tend to use my camera. So those are my favorite accessories for the Insta360 GO 2. I love how versatile and innovative they are. They really kind of step away from the standard when it comes to the world of accessories, and I think that is really cool. I hope to have inspired you to really use these accessories to the maximum potential, and that's gonna be really everything. So if you appreciated this video or you enjoyed it, be sure to like, stick around by subscribing for more detailed overviews of the Insta360 GO 2. But thank you so much for your support, and I hope to see you around.